What's up, Wolfman fans? Welcome back. You'll notice I'm not in front of my, American flag backdrop and my little setup. Honestly, it's because I'm eating a bag of chips and I'm sitting very comfortably on my couch because it's a rainy Saturday. And I've got nothing to do and I'm just being lazy. So I figured, why not? Got my blanket here, kind of warm, because it is actually kind of chilly today with the rain. And I'm just comfortable sitting on my couch. So I wanted to talk about today, how dumb is the left, huh? How dumb are the Democrats? And they're doubling down on how stupid they are, especially their three poster children now up in Congress, AOC, Ilhan Omar, and Rashida Tlaib, I think. Yeah. That's their three-headed dragon that they've pushed forward. Like, you guys are the fresh faces. You guys are the ones that are going to lead us to victory. No, they're not. They're retarded. Well, AOC for sure is retarded. I think Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar personally are... I believe that they're radical Islamic sympathizers, and that they hate the United States, and I think they should be immediately stripped of their title of U.S. representative and shipped on a one-way ticket back to whatever their country they're from, personally. And I wouldn't say that about everybody that comes from another country. I'm not a racist individual. I do believe, however, that if you live out your life exhibiting your stereotype, you get what you deserve. But, that being said, these individuals clearly don't care for the U.S. They think the entire country is nothing but a bunch of bigoted racists and sexists and whatever, and Islamophobes. Because, Muslims were so victimized and they were treated so badly after September 11th, 2001. Well, yeah, they were. I'm sure. And actually, take that back. They weren't really treated badly. Yeah, they were watched. We kept a close eye on mosques and stuff. I remember I have a mosque in my hometown, and it's on the route they used to take going from home to school and back. And it was kept under surveillance by the police. We didn't know what was going to happen. We knew that the people that slammed freaking planes into buildings, we know the people who did that were Islamic terrorists. They were Muslim terrorists. So to suggest that such hatred for Muslims came out of September 11 just because some people did something, to say that, I mean, at the very least, somebody should have backhanded you across the face. Like, instantly, you should have been backhanded. Oh, but that would be hateful. And now here come AOC in her defense saying, well, anybody that, says anything against what she said, anybody that says anything, they're just inciting, hateful, they're inciting violence and hatred. Well, screw you very much. She said a very upsetting thing. I'm not wanting for, offensive speech. I'm not one for, being offended by stuff. But if you don't think that saying something, that trivializing an event that took the lives of 3,000 Americans, if you think that trivializing that event is not offensive, then you shouldn't be representing shit. Because clearly you don't have the good common sense God gave a can of beans. You should not be in the House of Representatives with your turban and your hijab, trying to let's see, play the Islamic woman of color, play the woman of color refugee immigrant card as a representative. No. If that's the way you're going to try to do things, and if you're going to try to manipulate the system that way, you should be shipped back to wherever the hell you came from, to whatever hellhole you crawled out of. Bye. AOC? No, we'll just ship her back to Brooklyn. Personally, I think she needs to stand out in the street and give a public apology to all her constituents, saying how she lied to them just to get into a position where she made some more money. But that she really doesn't know what she's talking about, and she's going to step down. And at that point, if the people of the Bronx want to, chuck tomatoes at her or whatever, hey, that's their right. She's just an idiot. I don't think in my life I've ever met I've never met this woman, by the way, or I've never thought ever in my life that there was a person that just needed to shut the fuck up more than she does. Like, she's brand new into Congress. She's a freshman congressman. Yes, so is Dan Crenshaw on the other side. Dan Crenshaw clearly knows what the hell he's talking about. He's clearly understands what's going on. I'm sure that given his background as a Navy SEAL, I'm sure that if there's something he doesn't understand, he works to try to understand it before he just starts slinging his opinion, right? I would think anybody would be smart enough to do things that way. But she's stupid. She's a fucking party girl that got this position where now she's got some kind of influence. She likes to say the word power. She likes to say, I'm in charge. You're not in charge of shit. You're a representative. If anything, you are a servant of the people. You represent the people so that the several 100,000 of your constituents don't have to try to all squeeze into the halls of Congress all at the same time, while also not understanding any of the legal jargon that usually comes out of legislation. That is your job. Not to be a boss, not to be in charge. You're not in charge. You are not in charge. And I think that infuriates me the most, is that these are the people that are getting elected, especially on that side of the house, is people who think that once they're up there, they're in charge. You ain't in charge of shit. If you didn't walk into the House of Congress with the understanding that you are there to serve your people, to serve your constituents, and do things that are in their best interest. If you didn't do that, if you didn't walk up in there thinking that, you should be fired, like, immediately. If you say the words that I'm in charge or blah blah blah, you should be fired immediately. But these are the people that are on the left. These are people that are on the Democratic side. Now, some of them have been doing this for a long time, like Dianne Feinstein, Nancy Pelosi. They've been doing this for a long time. So they granted probably actually understand this stuff. Those guys are what I would call actually intentionally deceptive. They know what they're doing. They're professional. Yeah, they occasionally say stupid things, yes. But they don't go crazy, Like AOC, she says something stupid, somebody calls her on it, and then she goes absolutely ballistic. And then she has to go on social media and put together IKEA furniture in her living room floor and eat popcorn and get drunk off of wine and rant and rave and do, this number with her finger. Guys know that move? And say blatant outright lies like putting kids in dog cages and injecting them with chemicals. By the way, you never actually hear what chemicals are actually being injected into people. You don't hear that. Why? because it isn't happening. She made that shit up. It came off the top of her head. She's one of those, she's like, if you guys ever, I remember I had like a kid like this, either in school or all growing up on your street or something. You always had that. Yeah, there's one kid who was just an asshole. Usually it was like an only child, and he'd get in arguments with you over dumb shit, and he'd just make up the most random, blatant lie and sling it out there at you. I'm almost waiting for her to, honestly, I'm waiting for her. That's right, also, before he goes and tells his mom some lie about something you did and you get in trouble. Now, honestly, that's the reason you beat the hell out of the kid. You're not a bully. You just get tired of him talking shit. But honestly, I'm waiting for AOC to get called out. I'm waiting for like somebody to say, "Are you stupid?" And then her to just stand up and say, "I know you are, but what am I?" I'm waiting her to fucking come back with some dumb, childish shit like that. Because she's already childish. Very clearly immature and childish. Has no business in the position she's in. I want her to come out and say, "I know you are, but what am I?" I want to see that happen. Or yell out, "It takes one to know one," blah, blah, blah. I want to see something like that. I want her to show, because I feel like she's showing her true colors. I want it to go a little bit further, somewhat for my own amusement, somewhat more that so that her own people can see that, wow, we made a mistake putting her in here. Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib, I just believe that they're I don't know if I want to say traitor fully, but they're certainly not pro-U.S. They do not have the U.S.'s best interests in mind. They have their own and Islam's best interests in mind, which, I don't want to sit here and talk bad about Islam. I have some friends that are Muslim. It's kind of an interesting subject for me. I almost don't know how to feel about it. I do know that I do have Muslim friends that don't think this way, that they're not all about, jihad and all that crap. They don't do that. They know I'm Christian and they have nothing against me for being Christian. They don't hold me responsible for the Crusades. They're happy living a life of peace. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I perfectly respect your belief system and everything, as long as you can return that favor to me. I'm okay. But when you're trying to preach all this stuff about Islam and how, Jews are bad, and everybody talks and says anything bad about anything negative against Islam is just Islamophobic, but we should have Sharia law, blah, 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 and we push all these things. And of course, like I said, downplay 9/11. You should not be in Congress. You should not have any position anywhere in our government. Why did we elect these people? Because we're progressive, and because they're women of color and wear hijabs. Really? That's why you elected them? Because they're a vagina wearing a hijab? Go fuck yourself. You wanted to elect Hillary. And I had actually a friend of mine, and this is a really good friend of mine going way back, and I'm sorry about this. And if you're watching and you see this, you know who you are. I'm sorry, man, but I blocked you. I didn't ever want to talk to you again. Not because you were voting for Hillary. It's because why you were voting for Hillary. You were voting for her because she's a woman. Point blank, period. You were voting for Hillary because she's a woman. She could have been the devil incarnate. Could have had horns coming out her head. Could have breathed fire. Didn't matter. She was a woman. And you wanted to see your first vagina as a president. That's what you wanted to see. You wanted to see a president. You wanted to see a woman president. Look, I have nothing against a woman being a president, as long as her policies are sound. As long as she's not like determined to sell our country to the highest bidder overseas, which she was clearly wanting to do. She was giving away secrets to other people, including the Russians. And I have nothing against the Russians, but still a foreign government shouldn't be doing shady backdoor dealings like that. She was willing to sell your own country out from underneath your feet. That's why we didn't vote for her, because she's a crook. I don't care that she's a woman. That has nothing to do with it. Equal opportunity over here. You're a crook, you're a crook. Doesn't matter if you have a dick or a vagina. You are a crook. Trump, look, he may not be the best person for the presidency, but he was a hell of a lot better than Hillary. And you know what? The man has held up his end of the bargain. Everything that he said he was going to do, he has done. Except for the border wall, because y'all just don't want it. Because he came up with the idea. It has nothing to do with immigration at all. It's because Trump came up with it. If Hillary had made it into office and suggested that very same thing, you would have put up the money that day. And you would have had that wall built within a week across the entire southern border. And hell, for good measure, let's put it across the northern border too. Want to keep those damn Canadians from getting in. But because Trump came up with the idea, no, it's not an immigration issue. It's a humanitarian issue. Blah, blah, blah. You make up all these lies, and you try to tell us these things. You try to make it seem like we're cold, heartless, racist assholes. No, you're lying to us. Because as of lately, we know that you don't want these people here. How do we know this? Because they've even someone in Trump's cabinet. I don't know who. I don't know if it was Trump himself. You guys, if you know if it was Trump or one of his aides or whatever that floated the idea, let me know in the comments. But somebody floated the idea. It's like, well, since you won't give us the funding for either a wall or the facilities and equipment, take care of these people at the border, then we're just bus them up to your sanctuary cities, San Francisco or whatever. No, that's unacceptable because then you're just dumping them on them. They don't want them either. They don't want the illegal immigrants. They don't want the strain on their own economy. I don't think they actually give a shit about the people. I don't. They don't. It's just the same thing. Not a single one of them is willing to open up their own house to a refugee. They're the most selfish group of assholes that try to seem the most sanctimonious. They try to make you look like the bad guy. Like you're a horrible person. The truth is, besides being overtly dishonest, and I mean completely overtly dishonest, those guys, there's nothing that they say that even sounds honest. Everything sounds made up, completely fabricated, and total lie. The truth is, they want to appear like caring individuals. Like they want what's best for not just their own constituents, but the world. But truth is, they don't want anything. They don't want to help anybody but themselves. They're selfish. They don't care about you. So if I have anybody out there who claims to hold on to they're on the Democratic side of the House, or the left side of the House, whatever, that's watching this, dude, run away as fast as you can. Those people don't care about you. They literally do not give a damn about you. And they will say it all day till they're blue in the face. Yeah, we really do care. What matters more? The words or the actions? Because so far, their actions have spoken much louder than their words. And have shown that they don't give a shit about you. Only care about themselves. So, yeah. And it's funny, it was really hilarious, guys, is it's actually getting kind of comical. It's getting worse and worse. Because it's like they're not even trying to hide anymore how much they're lying. They don't even try it. They spout out complete nonsense. Like, even when Candace Owens got up Candace Owens got in front of Congress and was giving her statement, they said, somebody came out with the lie that she was, talking about Hitler not being a bad guy. And she goes, okay, look, you've taken what I said out of context. And basically the guys are just, nuh-uh, no I didn't. She, yeah, you did. And she completely went back over exactly what his question was and what her statement was. Dude, they're trying to tell us what we said. By the way, props to Candace Owens. That was awesome. I listened to that whole thing. I've like 3 or 4 times I've listened to that. It was awesome. And she's not wrong. They've lied to you guys. And they've told you guys that you're victims. They've told you you're victims. That you need to demand reparations if you're black because there was slaves at one time. You need to demand that. You're a victim because you aren't white. They lied to you. None of y'all are victims. Like, seriously, if I had a barbecue at this house, I won't do it today because it's, raining. But if I was having a barbecue at this house and I had somebody, a black dude, a Mexican dude, Asian dude, a Middle Eastern dude, Indian dude, whatever, all these different people, man, you'd be invited. And we'd chill out. And we'd eat, probably not, pork. We'd probably grill, let's do some just hot dogs and hamburgers. Well, yeah, hot dogs and hamburgers. That way everybody's happy. No bacon. Because the Muslim dude can't eat bacon. And the Indian dude, he's not going to eat beef. Hey, I'm being sensitive to their culture. I can honestly be respectful. I really can. And they don't have to be a dick about it. Okay? If they said, oh man, you got bacon on there, I can't eat it because it's bacon. Oh dude, my bad. I forgot. My apologies. It's that simple. But they'd all be invited. Me and the Hindu guy will go head to head against the black guy and the Muslim guy in some cornhole. And we'll have a good time. Equal opportunity, man. We all love each other. Honestly, we all have our faults. We all have our things about us that may not be the best character traits. But that's just us as people. You're not a victim. Don't listen to the Democrats. They're all liars. Every freaking one of them is a liar. And they're lying to you merely so they can be in power. And so they can better control your life. They don't care about you. They only care about themselves and the power and their own wealth of their own wealth of their life. As long as they've got their mansion and their money and their own private security, they don't care what happens to you. All right, that's all I've got. I've rambled on for long enough. I just honestly have been watching a lot of videos about like AOC and Ilhan Omar and all these people and just how ridiculous and how crazy they are and how they're utterly stupid and dishonest people. How do we have people that vote for them and like honestly follow them going, yeah. Seriously, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because these are some of the dumbest individuals we have ever had in Congress. So, anyway, that being said, that's all I got for me. That's all I got. That's all from me. Hope you guys are having an awesome weekend. This is kind of the start of the weekend for a lot of you guys. It's my end of the weekend. I go back to work tomorrow. So, at the same time, as much as I hope you have an awesome weekend, I hope you have an awesome work week ahead of you. It's not too hard, but, I hope it actually, you know what? I hope it flies by, get to the next weekend, have some fun. Anyway, that's all from me, guys. Hope you guys are doing good. As always, if you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. Feel free to share this video around. I'll leave a link in the description to my Facebook and my Instagram. I haven't really put anything on my Instagram lately, but whatever. And if you guys feel like helping the channel out, helping it grow, become a little more than what it is now, get a little bit better, I do have a PayPal. I'll leave the link in the description below as always. And you guys can donate to that. All proceeds go directly to this channel. And that's about it, guys. As always, you guys take it easy, stay awesome, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.